don't like it, please don't use it. Don't bother. And if you don't use it, we promise we won't hate you, or just a little bit. The genesis of it, I wanted to write things. I wanted to write novels. You know, it's some kind of pickup lines there. Yeah, you know, I'm a writer. And I was looking for tools to help me writing efficiently, and I stumbled upon Pyroom. What is Pyroom? Pyroom is a full-screen monochrome text editor. Yeah, full-screen monochrome. That is black on white or green on black, etc. Text editor. But I thought to myself, what's the point? Yeah, you know, it edits text just like a normal text editor, but you can edit any kind of text with a text editor. But the fact that it's full screen, and it's completely full screen, you have absolutely no menu bar at all, focuses you on writing. You have absolutely no distraction when you're full screen. And when it's only text and text only, you don't have to bother about is it bold, is it emphasis, is it the title, is it... We don't care. We don't have to care. You just write. Formatting will be later on. Pyroom, it's a full-screen, monochrome text editor, and it costs $24.95 US. And it only works for the Mac. That's not what I wanted to have. I wanted to have it for Linux, you know. I run Ubuntu for years, so I wanted to have it on Linux. I thought to myself, well, a full-screen text editor, that must happen. That must be already there. So I searched the friendly web, and I stumbled upon this post on the Ubuntu forums where a Norway man and Nicolas Pérougier did a Pyroom.py single Python script with 500 lines of code only, 18 kilobytes, including comments. That just worked. It's full-screen text editor. It's nothing, that's my fault. I just changed the image. It's just having a screenshot of a text editor is not that interesting. It was still a full-screen monochrome text editor, and it cost nothing because it was GPL version 3, and it runs on GNU Linux. Winner! You may think now, my favorite text editor does exactly the same. All I have to do is to hit the Ctrl-Alt-F1 key and run Vi or Emacs or whatever. I don't care, but you know, real programmers, they use Emacs. No, they use Vim. No, you use Ed, Cat, or the butterfly that changes the ripples of the atmosphere, of the upper atmosphere. Pyroom is not for geeks. Pyroom is not for coders, hackers. Hackers have tons of tools in order to edit text, because text is their basis. That's their basic work. So it's not for you, it's for usual normal people, normal Joe, who wants to edit text in his own environment, except that instead of having many windows opened, it just has one single frame, black and white. By the way, XKCD rocks. The Pyroom.py, there are many pros in my own opinion. It just works, first. It was lightweight. Just an 18 kilobyte Python script is nice. It's written in Python, so I can grok the code, understanding it, and eventually modify it. And I can modify it and publish modifications because it's GPL version 3. The cons were there were no actual really handy theme management. If you want to have green on black instead of white on black, etc., it was hard-coded in the script, so it was not that nice. It was not localizable. I'm French. I want to have all of my software in my own language, and I wish that everyone can have software in Spanish, in German, in whatever. I don't care. And it was a little bit rough at the edges. A lot of things were missing, in fact. So I decided to fork it. Fork are interesting because you can do it. It's GPL version 3, so I started up a project on Launchpad. The advantages of Launchpad is that you have the code management. You can have as many branches as possible you want. It's easier for the translators if you want to use Rosetta. There is a bug manager that I'm using usually as a task manager, and there are mailing lists so you can discuss topics. Started up a pyroom.org domain name, very simple website, just a few lines of information about the project, an RSC channel on Freenode, and then a very nice bunch of developers just joined in. So when the project started to become a little bit bigger, we had to organize it in teams. So there is a Pyroom team. Anyone can join in. Pyroom Bug Squad, if you want to get spammed by bug mails, you can subscribe it. Pyroom Dev is only for developers, hackers. It's on invitation only. And Pyroom Admins, that's the basic administration, releasing, etc. And there is one key developer on this project, which is Florian Heinler. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to the FOSDEM. I'm so sorry about that. There are plenty of others people who contributed it, and you may note that I'm not on this list because I've become really too busy to contribute to this project anymore, so I'm just supervising it from a distance, but I'm still following it very closely in order to keep it as simple as possible, as usable as possible, etc. But Florian Heinler rocks. What are the main features now? It still edits text and text only, no formatting. You can edit multiple documents at the same time if you want. It has an autosave function, which is much more interesting than the other autosaves that I've experimented. I've often lost my data because of autosave. In fact, Pyroom saves your current document. When you manually saves it, it saves it on, for example, example.txt. And when it's autosave, it's on a temporary file. So any automatic save is on this temporary file. And when you manually want to actually currently record your data, it records on the current file, on the actual current file. So that saves you a lot of time trying to get your backup. Full screen works on dual head, which was pretty cool that I have a dual head at work, and unfortunately it didn't work. Now it works. And we have several available themes. You can send themes, by the way, via Launchpad. Any kind of color you want for text, for background, just works. That's fine. And the themes are customizable. That is to say, if you import one theme and you want to change it, you can do it very, very easily via the preference dialog. It's translated in a lot of languages. We got Welsh. These are the complete translation for the earlier releases. Now, the next release is not yet translated in as many languages as this. Planned features. Spell check. That would be very handy for writers in order to have their spell check, the actual spell check in their own language. We want to drop JTK source view because it prevents us from being completely, fully compatible with Windows and Mac OS X. We want to port Pyroom to Windows and Mac OS X, and using JTK source view doesn't help. Maybe other themes, maybe what you want, your wish here. Go ahead on the website on Launchpad, file a bug report saying, I would like this to happen, and we'll plan this or not. In a more distant future, we had the idea of a theme bazaar when anyone can send themes for Pyroom and with a screen capture of the theme, and people could download it and install it on Pyroom. Why not? It's a Web 2.0 system. Or maybe a plugin system, because a lot of people are asking for very simple syntax highlighting, such as Markdown or restructured text, etc. And we don't want to do it right now currently. But for example, we would like to say you select the text and you hit Control-B in order to have a bold, and it just adds the stars at the end and at the beginning of the text. So that would be quite handy, but we need a plugin system in order to do that, and it's not yet ready. And if you have a genius idea, go ahead, please, dive in. Please don't ask for syntax highlight. I told you, this is not for coder. This is not an IDE. It's just a text editor. We won't do Python syntax highlighting. We won't do C++, Java, or baguette and snail syntax highlighting. And if you want specific markup highlight, just wait for the plugin system, and we won't have any IRC client integrated into Pyroom, never. If you want to try it, it's just a Python setup, usual normal operation, or you install Pyroom on Fedora. It's been packaged for Fedora very quickly. It's packaged in Debian Seed, so it's packaged for Ubuntu 8.10. It's not 8.10, it's 9. Yes, it's packaged in the PPAs for Intrepid, and it will be packaged in Multiverse for Jaunty, which is about to be released in April. And if you want to package it for your favorite distro, please dive in, go ahead. To get in touch, the Launchpad website, which is the main website, or pyroom.org, in order to have the download very easily, very quickly, and a #pyroom and free node. So that's it. That's the end. Thank you. I think we have 5 minutes for questions. That's a long time. Tony?
You talked about the dual head support.
Yeah.
Does it stretch across both or just appear on
That's an interesting question. In fact, the first time that I just tried to launch Pyroom on a dual head, it just split it through the two screens, and I had the actual window, the actual text window, right in the middle of it. That was really wrong. So now, when you use it on a dual head, when you launch it on one, for example, your right-hand side screen, the text is on the right-hand side, and the other side is completely blank. It's completely black if you have a black background, for example. So it works that way, and that's much better and much more interesting. Yes, please?
What text editor do you use to develop Pyroom?
I use gedit. But Florian Heinler, I don't know, and I don't care. One more, yeah?
So the theming, does it include fonts, or is it...
Sorry?
If you use a different theme, can you add fonts to it?
Yeah. The question was about fonts. You can use the font you want. It's a monospace, it's not a monospace, it's whatever. It's in your theme. A theme is its colors and a font and width of text. It's in percentage per your. It's percentage with the width of your screen, 45, 60%, whatever. Yes.
What is there to be localized? You have translations and so on.
Localized. There is help. There are on the bottom of the screen of the text window. There is text saved saying that this document has been saved, and it disappears. And for example, Control H, it's help. So this help is localized. It's very simple. There are not. No, it's not a large amount of strings, but you need them, of course, in order to, if someone doesn't absolutely speak English, you definitely need to translate even the smallest string.
Another question.
Yeah.
Is there a Debian package?
Yes, there is a Debian package in SID. SID, it's the unstable Debian. I don't actually currently know if it's going to be in the next Debian release in February? Yeah. 1 week? Hopefully. Anyone else? No? No. Now try to use it. Thank you very much.